Messiah is the seventh term or principle of the hexagram. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Mother, Daughter, Holy Soul equals Shekinah, or the community of Israel. He is the agent of all, the active summary of the bipolar Trinity, or as we have called it, the luminous Holy Trinity. Wow.
And then he goes on to give like other like mythological parallels for this kind of thing too.
Yes.
You Catholics worship Mary.
And he says, yeah, and you know what?
I know, he's making a huge statement here.
He doesn't say no, we just venerate her. He says, yep.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
Game on.
I know. I feel a little afraid. People that might be watching this.
Yeah, if you caught, did you catch John Milbank in our interview with him when he would talk about Sophia, and he said, "I just want to let you know, all you evangelicals in Middle America, it's in the Bible."
It's in the Bible.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's in the Bible.
So we probably need a disclaimer right here. But it's true. I mean, gosh, this is, this is what I've had to rethink about my understanding of what the church is, and and what's been handed down to us, and which is what I told those people in Cambridge last September. Is that what we have is we have an inheritance of categories.
Yes.
Somebody brings in something that doesn't fit the category, we don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So
there's no synthesis.
Instead of categories, where do you put Sophia in these well, there's not an available spot. Okay.
Yeah.
So either you need new categories, or you need to admit that that theology was not completely thought out at the time of the Father. Okay. There's no other way to think about it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's like,
which is why it's heretical.
Which
because we haven't got there.
I'm cool with that.
But you know what? There was a time when the Trinity was heretical too. I mean, the idea that it was always the Orthodox position is just not borne out by the historical record.
Do you think Origen might have been the Tomberg of his time? Don't you think? I mean, he was playing around with all kinds of ideas, and then he would actually say, and I read it, things like, I could have this wrong. If anybody has any better ideas, please let me know. I'm just feeling my way around in the dark here. But the wonderful thing about him was that he wasn't afraid to say something that might.
Right. He
right.
Wasn't, and you have to have. Okay, so what we're going to do. If I keep saying this, and I'm going to say it again, you can't do any theology that's worthwhile unless you are not afraid.
Yeah. You have to be
willing to go wherever the Spirit leads you without fear, and you cannot. This is actually related to a portion of this chapter where he talks about like when you're following the star, don't consult with Herod and the scribes.
Yeah, good advice.
Yeah.
Because Herod and the scribes are an anti-revelatory force, and I would say that that he doesn't say this explicitly, but you can make a direct line between the spirit of Herod and the scribes and the spirit of dogmatism.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I was just thinking that.
Wait, help me out. You're telling me astrology doesn't work, yet astrologers knew that Christ was born. Can you explain it? Unpack that for me, will you please? I wonder how Vanderklee is with that.
Well, but that's the thing. Well, but that's one of the things that this is one of the things that Tomberg talks about here too, is how like this, the belief that we can Christianize all things essentially. This is what he says is good about scholasticism, is that it had the belief that it could take the wisdom of the pagans, and it could Christianize it.
Well, this is why I love what St. Paul says on Mars Hill, right? Like he doesn't condemn the gods. He doesn't say that they're false gods. He says, I know their name. I know his name, this unknown God. I know his name. Okay. And so people are, anybody with any kind of integrity, again, let's go with the Job version of integrity, which is righteousness. It's virginal, right? They're gonna say, oh, okay, I love this. What's his name? Right? I want to know. And I mean, obviously, whatever the three kings or the magi or however you want to describe them, whatever they saw compelled them to travel a great distance with expensive gifts, because this character was, important.